I know everyone says this, but I am genuinely excited to tell you about our newest sponsor, Keen. What is Keen, you ask? I cannot wait to tell you. Keen is the leading provider of online psychic readings. With more than 35 million successful sessions under their belt, Keen is one of the most trusted providers in the space. I'm talking about tarot readings. I'm talking about love life readings. I'm talking about astrology readings. And yes, I'm talking about chakra cleansings and many more areas of expertise. Go to trykeen.com/thoseguys and get your first 5 minutes of any reading for only $1. What? The world is made up of things we don't understand, of things we can't see or touch, so expand your horizons while supporting those guys you hate.
Those guys.
On this piece of paper, the world's hardest tongue twister, Tyler.
Oh, wow.
And I would love for you to give it a shot.
You hate.
And I didn't even do my, hold on, I gotta do my tongue warm-ups.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's enough tongue warm-ups.
Those guys you hate.
Red circle.
And we are back, baby. Would You Rathers, a game that you can play at any age. It is the gift that keeps on taking, Tyler. I wanted to say it twice because I liked it. We're back. We've talked about what we don't want to do. That is for sure. A lot of things that we don't want to do.
That is for sure.
Tyler's going to let me poop in his mouth. Let's talk about what we do want to do with the Weekly Book Nook.
Book.
Tyler, what is Weekly Book Nook?
Weekly Book Nook is a segment where we discuss a book or a video game or a product that we're using, and we rate it for you to let you know whether you want to fuck with it or not.
Sure, I like
I
that.
don't fuck with that. And it's very rarely about a book, I'll tell you that much.
That's true. We're not that smart.
No. You want me to go first?
You should, me,
I could go first.
You go first.
I'll go first. Avatar: The Last Airbender live action Netflix. Oh, you're doing the same
That's
thing?
mine too. This is great.
We can talk about it.
This is great.
We
Let's
can talk about it.
Okay.
How do you feel about it?
Okay, when I said at the very beginning of the intro, why, oh why, are we remaking masterpieces? This is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
The show itself isn't bad.
Nope.
If you gave it to me absent of any information of Avatar, I'd be like, I don't think I would love it if I got to be honest, but I would be like, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I like the way they're moving the earth and that's cool.
Yeah.
These characters are interesting, I guess. What did you think about
The
it?
exact same thing. I think that if it was a show in a vacuum where I didn't know anything about it and just watched it, I would feel the same thing.
Right.
I love fantasy and anything science fiction or whatever. If you're moving
It would be a
elements,
fresh idea.
if you're moving elements around and stuff and throwing fire,
And that looks good.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. But because it is based on a, as you said, masterpiece.
Truly. And I don't think I've ever called anything a masterpiece on here. I truly believe
It's a
that
masterpiece.
Avatar is a Sistine Chapel of sorts. I
Yeah.
believe that it is, for my tastes, as perfect as anything that has ever been on TV. It
Agreed.
is a rise and a fall and a rise of so many characters that it is, it's perfect. It's a book. It's three chapters,
Yep.
3 seasons, and that's it. They're not trying to string you along to next week. I told my story and I'm done.
That's right. That's right. And it's excellent with the live action because I already have these characters implanted in my head with their personalities and the weight that they bring to the show. And then you go and watch the live action and they've changed the characters, even to a minute degree in some cases. It still changes who they are.
Okay.
And it really throws it off for me.
Let's do this. Let's get down to it. The number one character, who I assume you loved in the first one, that now in this one you're like, come on, who is it?
Oh, it's tough to say. I might go Uncle Iroh.
Uncle Iroh, you piece of shit! in the cartoon, he's
Yeah.
my favorite character.
Yeah.
He's wise. He came from a spoiler alert. He came from the heights of ego and leading a nation to destroy. He was, and forgive me for throwing these words around, he was Hitler at one point, or
Yeah.
at least Goebbels.
Yeah. He was an
The
assistant.
Fire Lord is Hitler.
He was an assistant.
Well, but
to
he
Hitler.
was Hitler before Hitler, and I'm not Stalin.
No. His father, who was the Fire Lord that started the war, He was Hitler. He just happened to be Hitler's son,
See,
who was also a general.
I think of the Fire Lord as the Hitler of the show.
All right.
And he was until he gave up. Anyway, we're divulging into
And
minutia.
spoiler alert. If anybody wants to watch it, hit forward 15
Don't do
seconds
that.
a couple
Go
times.
backwards a couple times.
No. 15 seconds starting now. Uncle Iroh lost his son, and that's when his entire that's when his entire world changed.
Yeah.
His perspective changed. And once he lost his son, he realized everything that was important to him is now gone. Why am I doing this to other people?
And he became soft, and he became humble, and he became beautiful
And loving.
And I see a lot of that story in my life, in your life. There was a huge loss in our lives that changed the way that it's where I lost my narcissism, and damn, would I love to get it back.
Yeah.
But the point that I will say in the show, not like the guy's back, there's nothing that character does that makes me care about him.
No.
Not a single fucking thing. And by the way, you look ridiculous.
Yeah. And I thought the look is actually roughly close.
Yeah.
But he's like timid around his nephew. Zuko does a great job. I think
fine.
He's angry.
He's no Sokka.
Sokka. But even Sokka is funny, but nowhere close to what he was in the original.
But you can't. Okay, and we got to stop here because now we're just nerding out.
Yeah.
But you can't do what a cartoon could do. There were so many times where Sokka was just a noodle flapping his arms around and getting spit out by Appa.
Agreed.
Do you remember that scene where in the very background, Appa like accidentally gets him in his mouth and he spits him out and he's just in a pool of saliva? It's one of the funniest parts. Nonetheless, we've gone way too far here.
He's still funny, but they just don't give him enough opportunity to be even funnier. Like he is the comedic relief. They just don't have a lot of opportunity to be comedic.
It's a very serious show compared to the other one. And last thing I'm going to say, and it's not in the minutia, I have watched arbitrary episodes of Avatar recently. And that show is so much fucking deeper than I ever gave it credit for when I was watching it. Mm-hmm. That episode on chakras is incredible.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's made to explain to children for them to understand something that they don't even know that they're understanding. It is truly a masterpiece. I think that every kid should watch it because it gives you this idea that there are other things out there than what I'm familiar with.
Yeah, agreed. Yep. And that is Weekly Book Nook.
Wait, and I was also going to say, because every time I read it, I have to report on it. Untethered Soul. I'm in this yoga class. I know I haven't brought it up, but it's something that I'm doing.
Yeah.
They're giving us all this literature, and yoga, another part of it is learning. And a lot of it is great. It's truly great. It's not as good as Untethered Soul. Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. Read it.
Excellent.
It is the instruction manual on the human mind.
Yeah. And do the audiobook if you can't. Do the audiobook if you can. The guy who reads it is just fantastic.
It's perfect.
It's fantastic.
No thrills,
Yeah.
nothing. It's just a regular fucking dude explaining to you why you so fucking crazy. All right, Tyler.
Do you mind, because I didn't include this before we did the pregame or whatever to let you know what segments I have. I actually have a You've Got Mail that I really want to play with you just very quickly.
Jump in.
Very quickly. All right, Ryan, for this You've Got Mail, we're going to India.
Oh, my people.
What?
I'm Indian now.
Because
Yeah.
fuck you.
I really
bro.
am, dude.
Fuck you.
I really am.
Fuck you. Are you going to do a trip to India? I know some people do that for their yoga training and stuff.
I don't think that they've mentioned it, but I
Okay.
will pack a light bag.
Gotcha.
Tyler. I would love to go to India. I would love it.
I would love to too. No offense, India. I don't know if my olfactory would be able to take
You're
it.
very rude.
I'm very sensitive to smell.
It's unnecessary.
It's just when you go to different places, they have their own unique smell. We here in America have our own unique smell.
You're a dick.
We smell like Americans.
Me and my Indian brethren are not
please.
going to stand for this.
Oh, please. So we're going to India, and now India is filled with so many different religions and beliefs. I'm sure you're aware of this.
Sure.
And
And smells apparently.
And
Asshole.
in the temple town of Tiruvannamalai.
No chance that you hit that.
No, in Tamil Nadu.
Oh, Tamil. I know what you're talking about.
Of course. There is a woman who they call the Hat Mother. Her name is Tapi Amma. And
Hat mother's named Toppy. I like that.
there you go. And so she is a religious figure of sorts. She has a small following, but the people who follow her really follow her.
Okay.
It seems like the smaller the group, or maybe not always, but it seems like the smaller the group, the more intense they have to be about that belief.
Sure.
You know?
There's nothing worse than when your cult goes mainstream.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, that used to be mine.
But you can also look at certain beliefs, and anybody can look at any belief and say, man, you guys are crazy for believing this. This is one where I think anybody who doesn't believe in this can look at it and go, you guys might not be right about this.
I don't
one.
know, dude. I could be talked into damn near anything. I think I'm fucking Indian.
Okay.
All right. So, is she gonna shit?
No.
If you show me somebody shitting, Tyler, it will. Wait a minute. No. No! Wait, what? Wait.
I shouldn't laugh because of the seriousness of the...
Wait a minute. What was that came out of her?
It was a drink. She had a little drink.
In her mouth.
She had a cup. She put a drink in her mouth.
Okay.
And then for whatever reason spit it up, which if you could tell by her outfit, she seems to do a lot.
It was thick.
It's all over the front of her shirt. So this is a woman, again, that they call Toppy Amma. And
Sloppy Toppy.
And Sloppy Toppy, although that's something else.
That is definitely the name of the show.
Yeah, and she apparently, she hasn't been diagnosed, but she seems to be somebody with severe dementia. And she is somebody who is homeless, who wanders around the streets of this town, of this temple town, and for whatever reason has a small grouping of people who have raised her up as their religious figure. And so they follow her around, they drink after her, they eat after her, they pick up her garbage and consume whatever is left. And this is something that has been going around the internet. And I don't like to diminish people or make fun of people because of their beliefs.
So then don't.
But this one, I'm going to have to say, this woman needs help and you guys are eating after her.
Okay.
What is your problem?
I am willing to take the other side of this, and I'm going to do it this way. If you are somebody who sees different realms, if you are somebody that has an understanding of life outside of the way that we all experience it, which is our senses, which are not as great as you think. Don't believe everything you remember. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you seem crazy in that circumstance?
Okay, two things. First of all, you got to quit that.
You want to drink my spit?
You got to quit that yoga training. It's turning you into a fucking weirdo.
How do I meet Toppy? That's all I need to know because I am thirsty. I would cut out the middleman and just kind of walk underneath her. You know what I mean? It's like, I would ingest whatever she throws at me.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor.
Sure,
you got to take whatever life gives you.
Yeah, let her mama bird you,
that
basically.
foamy life stuff.
It looked like a milkshake.
It really did.
Like a protein shake.
It looked like the top of a cappuccino.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sloppy Toppy.
Yeah, and it just
did it again.
It's seemingly, and you could be right, but also what if this is just a human being that
could just be a loon.
Needs help.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Both are possible.
And that's Drew Got Mail.
Coming from Sloppy Poppy, I mean, I vote for Sloppy Toppy.
Yuck.
All right, Tyler, let's see what okay, we're going to do these. These are two very serious subjects, and I'm not even going to put a segment around them, and I don't know shit about them, so I hope that you do. When you said you had an oof, I thought it was going to be one of these two things. Puff Daddy, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah. Finds himself in a bit of a pickle, Ryan.
He's in a bit of a pickle. What you're saying is correct. His children were arrested?
No, they were brought outside and cuffed, but then they were subsequently let go and no charges were brought against them.
And that was just to protect the officers going into the house?
Correct.
Okay. I thought they were being implicated.
No. Seemingly standard procedure for police. Make sure that the people that are in the crime scene, so to speak, are contained,
sure,
just in case they pose any danger. And as I said, they were let go, so no charges against them so far.
So what is P. Diddles being charged with? Are you familiar with all of that?
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. It seems like the floodgates were opened when his, I believe, ex-girlfriend filed that charge not too long ago, accusing him of abuse. The very next day.
That's the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah. But the very next day, it was settled out of court. God only knows how much money she got from him.
I'm sure he's not guilty. I mean, sometimes you just want to, hey, if you feel like I did something wrong, here's $7 million.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like when Fox News paid $750 million so they didn't have to go to court. And it's like, that is the behavior of an innocent party.
Listen, we are a news gathering resource, and we don't want to, cause anybody to forget that.
Yeah. So both his home in LA and Miami were raided. Oh, and I didn't finish.
And Star Island, right? I pass it every single day,
on
man.
Star Island. So this woman filed a suit, got paid off the very next day, but then that, as I said, opened the floodgates, and 3 other women filed suit against him.
It empowers
and started to
other
talk
people.
to federal employees. And so far, they raided his home. They arrested his drug mule, which is like this innocent looking white guy from like Minnesota.
That's fucked up.
It is crazy.
Free the mule. That's unfair.
He's out on $2,500 bond. $2,500.
Okay, so it's a cheap mule.
It's a cheap mule.
Does Puff Daddy have that, or does he need to put something in Hawk?
My guess is he's talking to the federal employees too, and he wasn't raided by SWAT team. He wasn't raided even by the FBI. He was raided by the Department of Homeland Security.
So it's a big deal?
It's a big deal.
Wow. So wait a minute. Homeland Security outranks FBI. I didn't know that.
They deal with terrorism charges. But he is being, and human trafficking. They make
See, that's where my mind went.
It's human trafficking, but there's also a lot of drugs that are being run through him, sexual assault, sexual abuse, all those things. He seems to be a true monster.
And when you're international like that, it's very easy to start crossing state lines, country lines, which I would imagine brings in some of that terrorism vibes.
Hopefully they get him for the murder of Biggie.
Wait.
Or was it Tupac? Whatever.
Wait, you're thinking of Courtney Love, Tyler.
No.
That's entirely different thing.
That's Nirvana.
What?
What's his name?
Yeah, 90s,
Kurt Cobain.
90s was a crazy time.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
also,
murders.
and you know what? I'm going to say it. Prayers out.
No.
No.
If you say for Diddy.
Yeah.
No.
I am going to say for Diddy. Just because should he go to jail and should he pay for it? Absolutely.
Oh,
But 1,000,000% prayers go.
I thought this was a free Diddy thing.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
No.
I didn't know where you were going
But
there.
obviously, something bad, terrible doesn't stop you from being guilty. Something terrible has happened. Nobody is born being that much of a monster. I cannot be convinced of that.
Yeah.
I think fame has rotted that person out from the inside. He is living with demons. If you have something inside of you that causes you to act that way, you are a rotten person. Prayers go out to Diddy, and I hope that gets healed while you sit in jail for seemingly the rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
But I don't wish anybody to be condemned. I mean, that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, I do wish you to be condemned here in your physical life.
Yeah.
But whatever's happening to your soul, that's awful.
Sure.
Sam Bankman-Fried
Hopefully he can repent. What about it? What about him?
got sentenced today.
Oh, yeah. Do you know how long? I didn't hear about it.
25 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But you look at him and you're like, he'll do fine in prison.
Sure.
He should be fine.
Sure.
He looks like Gen Pop.
He is going to be a penis sponge. That's all I'm saying.
Come here, royal dick cleaner.
He's going to be mopping up some messes.
Who is gross.
Sorry.
Who is Sam Bankman-Fried?
He was the guy at the Bitcoin thing where he was apparently taking money not only from the poors like the rest of us, but also from the wealthy, which you never ever do.
There's your first mistake.
Yeah. It's like Bernie Madoff. He went to prison for the rest of his life because he stole from the wealthy. You don't steal from the wealthy.
You gotta listen. Know your role. Take it out on little insignificant peons like Tyler and me.
Yep.
So 25 years.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's the majority of the rest of his good years.
Well, depending upon how jail treats him, it might be all of his good years
that's
and
true.
then some extra at the end.
That's true.
The
Probably
thing
gonna come
is,
out with like face tattoos, look like Post Malone.
he'll be a Muslim.
Yeah.
So I stole that from the Levitard show. Like most of the things on the show.
Sure.
He started off with seemingly the best intentions. Who knows what was really in his heart?
Usually how it starts, though.
But he's looking to be in bad shape here.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't even have any more time for it. Maybe he'll get to block up with Puff Daddy. Tyler, would you rather? The internet, Tyler, is a dark place. Right?
Yep.
You're familiar with that?
I am.
Would you rather go down on your grandpa or have your grandma go down on you?
Oh, go down on me for sure. Yeah.
Abuela or Ani?
It wouldn't really matter. Both of them are skeletons.
You gotta pick one. No, they're alive.
Oh. I'd probably go Abuela. She's Hispanic, so let me tell you about our newest partner, Mint Mobile. With Mint Mobile, you can drop your expensive cell phone plan without having to sacrifice coverage, speed, or data. They're able to provide such an amazing offer by cutting out the middleman and selling to you directly online. Plans start for as little as $15 a month. $15 a month, guys. That is so unbelievably cheap. And making the switch is incredibly easy. Keep your current phone and phone number and activate your plan in minutes. Remember to support those who help us. Just go to trymintmobile.com/thoseguys to get started. That's trymintmobile.com/thoseguys.
Those guys.
Can I tell you, and perhaps this is a little bit too much insight into my life,
This will be good.
first time I ever did a finger banging?
Go on.
In my church where they keep the choir robes.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Exactly. Yes, he was there, Tyler.
Wait a minute. Oh.
You hate.
Were you doing the finger banging or were you receiving the
Are
finger
you
banging?
asking me if some girl was fingering my butt in church, Tyler?
Didn't have to be a girl.
That is way too far. It was actually my youth leader. Garrett, I miss you.
oddly specific. That is not improv.
Those guys you hate.
All right, red circle.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Listen, full disclosure here. We've been so pressed for time. We don't go anywhere in these breaks. And I'm sorry for doing that.
Yeah.
That was awful.
You set me up.
I know.
I spiked the ball, fucker.
I didn't even answer it. I just cradled my knees
Wait,
and rocked back
what's
and
your
forth.
answer? Are you doing American grandma or Cuban grandma?
Well, I didn't say grandma. I could be going down on abuelo. I have not even said yet.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, now you're getting judgy,
Okay.
huh?
I'm learning so much about
Well,
you.
here's the thing, okay? I have said many times that, not that I'm so straight, because I'd say pretty metrosexual, but I do believe that I am straight enough to where if I ever chuped a single pinga, that it would do me psychological damage. If I put a penis in my mouth, I assume that it would do me psychological damage.
Said like every anti-gay pastor out there. You're all gay. We know it. You're all S&Ds.
Diagnose me. Am I gay for real?
You could be.
Yeah, it could be.
You could be.
But
You
I don't want to know.
You don't want to break down that barrier.
I don't want to know. I'm fine with it the way that it is.
You know, when we have problems in our lives, we got to go through those problems. We got to go through those buttholes. Just live it up, man.
I would take abuela. All right, Tyler.
Good for you.
Quintessential. Do you know the song Green Light by John Legend?
I don't think so.
You do.
Maybe.
Give me a green light.
Oh, sure. Yes. Yeah.
That's a workout banger. Here's the way the workout banger works. It's
yeah.
these songs that you've heard a million times. They're just background in some bar that you're listening. And everybody knows that Slipknot is a workout banger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you songs that you never would have thought about. That song, which I've heard a million times, I had no clue that Andre 3000 was on it.
Mm-hmm.
His verse on that song, as good as anything I've ever heard. Andre 3000, one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah, he's really excellent.
That's it. All right, Tyler. Go ahead and give me your GBI.
All right. Yes. GBI, baby. Let's jump right into our good, because
We need it, man.
Yeah.
We need a fucking palate cleanser. This has been terrible. I want to talk about interesting and intelligent stuff, and now I'm talking to you about desecrating Abuela's grave.
who said desecrating?
All right, move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
You'd be gentle with her?
Of course I would.
Good news, everyone.
I mean, it's dirt. How rough can you be with dirt?
You're a good mijo.
Ryan, tell everybody what the Sagrada de Familia is.
Truly one of my favorite places that I've ever been to in my life. At that time, it wasn't one of my most spiritual times ever. It just struck me. It is a church that was and is being built by Gaudi for almost 200 years. He died like almost 100 years ago, and the church is still being built in the plans that he laid out for it. It is beautiful, probably some of the most incredible stained glass work
Yeah.
outside of Barcelona. Highly recommend. Also, where the ending of a Dan Brown book takes place.
Also true.
And there you go.
We went up to the very top of one of the spires.
Don't do that.
The climb down was terrifying. Put some rails on your stairs, guys.
You ever hear of escalators, Gaudi?
Jeez.
Well, actually, probably not. You know that is in one of the top 10 places of where tourists die.
What?
That's true.
Shit, I'm glad I didn't know that when we went.
I hope that's true.
Good God.
Had I known that, I definitely would not have gone up there.
Yeah.
Very unnecessary.
Yeah, it was a steep climb down, and the stairs were sloped from literally almost 150 years of people stepping on them. The stone begins to slope down. It was terrifying.
And we're relatively speaking in good condition. We're young men, especially at that time. It's hazardous.
Yeah.
Not worth it either. I mean, it's a beautiful place. There's not really a lot going on up there other than like, am I okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is a nice view before I die.
Bye.
Well, it's been more than 140 years, but it is set to finish construction.
No!
Finally.
No!
In 2026.
I don't like that.
2 years left.
I don't like
Ryan.
that. It should keep going.
Well, it's something that's finally going to be finished.
Well, you know what my favorite thing about it is that it is built, and this is so much of what I believe. At that time, nature was just something that was happening around us. Gaudi saw it as something that was spiritual, as it was a way of God talking to us. And he built it with natural elements. There's bone inferences. There is nature. There are natural patterns and all these different things. And when it was built, it was admonished by the higher ups.
Yeah.
It was said, this is disgusting. What kind of God is this? And now all these years later, with some perspective, it's one of the most beloved churches that I'm familiar with.
For good reason. I mean,
incredible.
it's one of the most unbelievable pieces of architecture I have ever seen in my
Truly.
life.
Truly.
And the tower, it's going to be finished. The Tower of Jesus Christ will stand at 172.5 meters. That is 566 feet tall. It's almost 2 American football fields tall.
It's incredible.
And it's going to be finished with a 17-meter tall 4-armed cross, according to the cathedral. When complete, the Sagrada Familia will become the world's tallest church, overtaking the Ulm Minster in Germany. Take that,
Suck it!
Germany!
Oh, minister!
This is what you get for the 40s.
Little bitch. Why don't you run off to Argentina now? Sorry about that.
Construction began in 1882.
Wow.
1882.
Good year.
Yeah. Sure.
You know what? I one of my deepest regrets is, for whatever the reason, whatever was going on that day, we went and visited it together, got lost on the way. We didn't go and check out that park that is right across from it that was also designed by Gaudi. Gaudi, I would say in my top 3 artists of all time.
You keep changing how you're saying his name. You say Gaudi and then you say Gaudi.
Well, I don't want to say gaudy because that is literally a synonym for something being ugly.
Yeah,
which is funny. That's ironic.
It's like calling somebody Einstein. You know,
bird brain
makes them stupid.
Sure, I get it. Also, I mean, just incredible, and they have so many different exhibits and all that stuff.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
And it says here, fun fact: Gaudi died in 1926. Only 10 to 15% of the entire cathedral was finished, and it was the construction was slowed down by the Spanish Civil War in the 1930s, where his designs, the majority of them were destroyed during the Civil War. So what is being finished right now, it probably isn't even close to what he designed.
The
back
original.
then.
Yeah. I believe, we can review if either of us feels like it, George Orwell was in Spain at that time and just took up with the rebels, just started fighting with the rebels during the Revolutionary
Why
War.
not? This will be fun to write
I've already
about.
written a bunch of books. What the fuck else am I going to do?
All right, let's go to our bad.
I really hate it when you play that. I really don't like that.
Which is why I keep playing it.
Sure.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Being swatted sounds unenjoyable. Having a SWAT team break open your front door, charge in with assault weapons, and point them right at your face. It seems like an unenjoyable experience.
People have died that way.
Yes, they have done.
It is, and that's when you call and say that somebody's being kept hostage. You trick the police into sending a SWAT team into someone else's house.
Yes.
All the rage in like the 2000s in the video game culture.
Yeah, very much so.
You little fuckers.
Very much so. I believe it's slowed down just a bit because laws are starting to catch up.
Go back to
with those
Argentina
acts.
now.
Yeah.
Am I right?
German? I don't know.
Whatever.
But
they started cracking down on it because it's ridiculous.
But what happens when the police are the cause of the swatting?
They swatted
They
themselves.
swatted a family, the wrong family.
Ouch.
And what caused it? A pair of AirPods.
AirPods. Yeah.
Apparently AirPods really important.
Yeah. So what does that mean? They were like tracking the AirPods?
They were tracking the AirPods. There was
That's fucked up, man.
which is kind of strange. There was it was St. Louis County and it was St. Louis County, and around 6:30 p.m. The Shamley family was at home. They were at home, and all of a sudden the police use a battering ram, break open the door. They run in. They looks like there's like a dozen police officers there. Run into the room, guns flashed, everything. Apparently what had happened was a car got broken into 16 miles away from the family's home.
So far, still making sense.
Yep. Yep. So they apparently hopped in the car, drove past home, and the AirPods, a pair of AirPods that was stolen from this car, were dropped on the street in front of this family's home. One of the kids picked it up and took it inside.
Well, hey, listen.
Go ahead. Yeah. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, because I know I come off poorly on this show very often, but I don't want to say you reap what you sow, so I won't say anything at all.
You had to get that out that you weren't going to say anything.
I didn't. You gave me the floor, and I'm like, fuck, Tyler, protect me.
No. From yourself.
Yes.
From yourself.
I can't be trusted.
I'm going to call the SWAT team right now.
Get me.
Yeah, they were looking for guns and other material related to a carjacking, but obviously the search didn't turn up any of that. They were tracking the location of the AirPods broke into this innocent family's home.
It's crazy.
And yeah, it's a bad look, I would say.
That's not great. You got to have a little bit more information than AirPods. What I've learned here is if I'm going to commit a major crime, put my AirPods at somebody else's house.
So you would frame somebody for the
I said too much.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You mean just now or throughout the entire show?
I said too much. Sorry, Abuela.
On to our...
And I also really feel bad for Ani. Like, she's like, what did I do?
Yeah. On to our interesting. Out of out of the bad, which nothing happened in between.
I just want the audience to know that Tyler just said something so deplorable that for the first time he's cutting it out. He lets everything fly.
I do. It was just so mean.
Yeah, give me the interesting. Yeah. You were kidding around.
I have never fucked a loaf of bread. Do something to the crust to make it a little bit more, succulent and soft.
Sure.
Maybe cut a hole. Yep. But wouldn't it be interesting to fuck a loaf of bread?
For sure.
Ryan, your thoughts?
You don't want it fresh out of the oven. You know what I mean?
That's like, what's his name in American Pie when he fucked the apple pie?
Sure.
You had to let that cool down just a little bit before
it's
you.
the pie fucker.
Ryan, what is Neuralink?
I don't know, but I assume it's some sort of chip they put in your brain.
It's the company that Elon Musk is one of the companies that he runs, where they are working to put computer chips in people's brains. It got started in 2016, and they have been testing on animals all these years. Did you know, or would you be surprised to learn, that they implanted the first chip in a human being in January?
Wow, that is crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And how is that person doing? Like, what special powers does he have?
Well,
he check his bank account while he's shitting.
He is a 29-year-old,
of course,
quadriplegic.
Yep. Kind of walk me into that.
Yep.
So he can't shit.
Well, I think he does. He can do anything while he's shitting because it just goes into a bag, I would assume.
Okay, thank you.
That's how it works.
I appreciate you putting that at the very end.
I'm not a doctor.
The fine print. Thank you, Tyler.
I'm no doctor.
Okay, well, we support you, sir.
It's a neural technology company, and they've been working really hard over the years, and they implanted this chip into, his name is Noland Arbaugh, and he just did a live stream on Twitter. I'm not calling it X, fuck that.
You just did?
Yeah. He has said that it's not perfect, but the chip allows him to interact with computers. And so what did he do when he finally was able to use this chip?
That's my question.
He stayed up all night playing video games on the computer, Ryan. It's a video game called Civilization. It's a strategy game.
I've seen it. It looks kind of good.
It's very good.
Yes.
It's very in-depth. You definitely could stay up all night playing it. Not that I've done that.
Sure.
And he is somebody who cannot move from the neck down can play video games on his computer.
And that's all. Are you saying it making? I'm confused.
No, it's amazing.
Thank God for him.
It's amazing.
Listen.
No, there was no sarcasm in my voice.
Being a quadriplegic, it seems kind of boring. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, and tragic and terrible and
Sure.
awful.
But
yes.
I mean, I don't know how this happened to this person. I won't guess.
A car accident.
Okay.
Well, there's nothing wrong with knowing that. He got into a car accident, and that's the thing. He wasn't born that way. It was taken from him.
So I bet playing video games is incredible for him. So I support it.
Especially being a 29-year-old, you know? Like being a 70-year-old, he'd probably be like, bro, what the fuck?
What do you want me to do with
this?
this?
As a 29-year-old, you're like, yes!
At 7 years old,
Yes!
I would probably get into it nonetheless. Yeah. But I, you know what? I am very worried about the merging of humans and technology. What if in the evolutionary, thoughts, we were just brought here to invent technology and then just die off? But in this particular instance, I say, awesome. Good for that man getting a slight bit of relief.
Yeah, and I genuinely had no idea that they were doing human testing already. And to hear that not only have they done human testing, but to a certain degree it works is insane.
The fact that he can interact with computers without his arms or legs, I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yep.
That truly is.
Yeah.
My fear of technology does not take away my amazement by it. That is for sure.
Of course not. And it is one of those things where if you talk to a lot of millennials, if you talk to a lot of Gen Zs or boomers, you talk about having a chip in your brain. And I think most of us would be like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm there.
That's crazy. But when this technology becomes more and more affordable and normalized, as the newer generations are born, they won't have, it's like social media. With social media, the older, or the internet in general, the older generation was always like, hey, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Although it's funny to see that they became the generation that believes most of the stuff
a whole bunch of ketchup
that they see on the internet. But once this technology becomes more available, I think we're going to see a lot of people voluntarily, not because they're sick or because they can't use their bodies, just taking up this technology because it makes life more convenient.
And we're giving up a lot for convenience.
That's the thing.
We're giving up freedom for convenience.
Which we've been doing forever.
Money for convenience. Our convenience is what's separating the top from the bottom. But nonetheless.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
So, and that, Ryan, is the interesting.
Great job, Tyler. That was very interesting.
Thank you.
And I celebrate that gentleman who is playing Civilization. Good on you.
Yeah. And I do want to see where the technology goes, even though I am in the camp of it will never be put in my head.
No.
But I want to see.
I'm happy to hear that, by the way.
Yeah.
You could have gone either way with that one.
I could have, and maybe back in the day I would have thought about it when I was younger, but now as an adult and loving my privacy, I don't want people to be able to see my dreams. I haven't played on a movie screen somewhere for billionaires.
Have you ever heard that conspiracy theory that the mark of the beast is the zip code or the barcode?
No.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. The guy from Hobby Lobby, very deep Christian roots, won't use barcodes because he believes it's the mark of the beast.
Okay.
Now, Tyler, fade out that music.
Oh, good point.
And I'm going to end this with one more would you rather. Internet, a dark place. A dark place. Don't go there asking for things. Don't look for stuff from it. Would you rather drink a cup of your mom's period blood or a cup of your dad's semen?
I'm going semen, obviously. Yeah, over blood? What are you, nuts? Ah, God, I can't imagine drinking a cup of blood. I don't care where it comes from. Because I think that the blood would make you like really sick, if I'm not mistaken.
So you're telling me...
Can we go back to yoga?
That my dad's semen wouldn't make me very sick?
It would make you mentally sick?
Yes!
But it wouldn't give you like
yes,
like
it would!
Physical.
Yes, it would!
Physical
yes,
problem.
It would!
Which one are you choosing?
Highly viscous.
What are you choosing?
Dad's semen.
Yeah.
Tyler, great job today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry for the way this episode went.
Here's the thing.
Ryan led this
I'm
one.
going through yoga teacher training and it's stretching me to my very core.
I hope your yoga friends.
Hanging on. No.
I hope they listen to this.
I have not told them about the podcast
you
yet.
should.
I want them to get to know me first.
Send them this episode.
No! 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 All right, Tyler.
I'm really scared of the things I've said in this one.
This has been a
It's
particularly
been pretty
bad one
bad
for you. Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yep. My deepest condolences.
Thank you, buddy.
Tyler, great job this week. You
Yeah.
definitely didn't say anything bad at all. Everything's going to be fine. We're not going to edit out a single
Definitely
thing.
cutting that thing. Definitely cutting it.
Fried butter. Tell them how to get in touch with us.
Go to thoseguysyouhate.com and click on all the buttons. We got all the links right there. Or you can go to TikTok at Those Guys You Hate, or you can go to YouTube or Instagram at ThoseGuys_you_hate.
Nice. What's the moral of the story, my boy?
The moral of the story is I don't want to play Would You Rather with you anymore.
Yeah.
You come up with really gross ones.
The internet. I did
Yeah.
not. I listen.
Yeah.
You know I always list my sources. I did not come up with a single one of those.
I am really happy that you started with the wacky and the goofy in the very beginning, and they just deteriorated as the show went on.
It got dark.
Yeah, it got really,
How
really
long
dark.
would it take to bleed a cup?
Can't we go back to me smelling with my fingers? I really enjoyed that
Hey,
one.
it was a better time. Remember that?
I really
we
enjoyed
were
that.
yucking it up, and now we're just yucking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be scared to embrace your grosser side, I guess I would say. You know, embrace
Or
that
do.
grosser side.
Or do.
Or you know what? I think we should bring back shame. That's
Please.
also the other
Please.
the other whatever we call this. Ryan, what's the moral of the story?
Being humbled. It's a trick. It is antithetical to think that being humbled is something that's good for you. But I promise you, as somebody who's lived with a giant ego in my life and is now experiencing being humbled, it's terrible. It's painful. It's maybe the second worst thing that I've ever done. The first one, before I was humbled. What are you smirking at?
I'm thinking of blood or semen. It's really
Tyler!
making me. It's
Tyler!
You said what you said. From what I heard, it sounded really spiritual and really
I'm
beautiful.
ending on a societal, spiritual.
I'm just laughing to myself
Damn it,
over here because
Tyler!
of it.
You are that guy I hate.
I am too.
Be kind or will.
Be kind or we'll kill you.
There it is.
Red circle, not what they call it.
What's the name for a painful tickle? There's a word.
Just hurting somebody. That's assault.
No, like if you're tickling somebody's ribs, but you push your fingers in between the actual ribs and like move it around. What's that called? Like I'm tickling.
That's assault. What are you talking about? There's no word for that other than just abuse.
You delicate snowflakes.
Yes.
All of a sudden now I can't push my digits into your crevices or your nooks or your crannies, and I'm the one who needs to change.
Exactly.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to a frenetic Those Guys You Hate. Tyler. What's up, Doug?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Just out here living. Been a chaotic time for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but a good time.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
Nothing much. I'm going through it right now, a little low, but it's bad timing because I've got a comedy, a stand-up comedy this Saturday, and I just don't feel like doing it at all.
That's very interesting.
But I'm going to do it.
You don't have to do anything, but
Yeah.
that's a very interesting thing. So you have this coming up, and what is your thoughts in relation to it? Let's explore this.
I need to go up there and I need to be funny, and I don't really feel very much like ha-ha and hee-hee at the moment.
Yeah, but there's still some time.
There is.
And there are some things that you could get yourself back to haha and or hee-hee.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
I have been in
or
this
tee-hee.
A tee-hee. I have been in this position before, and I have noticed that the moment I get up there on any kind of stage and a microphone is in my head, much like doing the show, I get right to it and I do it, and I get into like the flow, I guess it would be called.
The ha-has.
I
go rolling in the ha-has. Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's a correlation between this thing coming up, and I'm sure you could be down anyway, but I guarantee that having that staring you in the face isn't helping,
Probably. It's really hard to quantify right now.
Sure.
Just because I've been treating my body like a temple, one of those ones in India where the monkeys just shit all over the place.
There's something spiritual about that.
Oh,
though, you know what I
very
mean?
spiritual.
You gotta let nature.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's called dysentery.
Yeah.
and pink eye.
Dysentery is just diarrhea. Don't let Oregon Trail fool you. It's called diarrhea.
Spiritual diarrhea.
Oh, okay.
That's what dysentery
I got
is.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go through with it. It's doing the things that we don't want to do, even when we don't want to do them.
For sure. Well, we support you. I'm speaking for myself here. I support you. And I'm sure everybody who listens to this also supports you too. Seriously.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
And I truly believe that you will be happy that you did it on the other side. Isn't that the way these motherfuckers go?
Absolutely. I know that I will as also. So.
Tyler, I'm going to show you how you do a seamless segue. Are you ready? I'm going to transfer from subject to subject and nobody's going to even notice that I did it.
Go for it.
Here it goes.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of technology?
I have.
Really?
Yeah. Started with fire, I believe.
Really? So
fire is a technology.
Fire's a technology.
Yeah.
What about domesticating animals? Is that a technology?
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think technology is just any tool that we can use to improve our lives.
What if dogs domesticated us, Tyler?
No.
We're feeding them. We're cleaning up their shit.
Well, I was gonna say, but they're also attached to a leash and only walk where I walk, unless you're podcast granny, where you just let your dog take you wherever the fuck it wants.
Tyler, these dogs seem to have you right where they want you. This is ridiculous.
You can make that argument about cats. Cats are totally free to do whatever the hell they want.
I don't fuck with those bitches.
And we do we had cats growing up our entire lives.
I actually like cats.
I love cats.
I went through a period where I was too macho for cats. It was all a front. I like cats.
Cats are awesome.
I like cats a lot. For sure.
Cats, you could argue, domesticated us. They, back in ancient Egypt, where they started to be revered and were treated like, I believe, like gods.
That's true.
Which is
we can reveal.
pretty
That would
good.
be interesting. Sure.
That sounds like a pretty good deal. Yeah.
And also they will and are in some ways, I'm sure, looking forward to eating you if you die alone.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, at least my body won't go to waste.
I like that.
I hope my cat won't eat the brain.
Pay
though.
it forward.
Can cats get kuru?
You know what? We can review too.
I don't think there's going to be any article on that. I think we're going to need to run some experiments.
Okay, so we're buying some cats and then we're killing ourselves, baby.
We're going to set this studio up like a Dexter scene,
I don't care if it's dirty for the cats. I'm not wasting my money on plastic tarps if I'm going out.
Oh, you're killing yourself.
We're going to kill each other?
No. I say we just get some homeless guy off the side of the road. We let a cat eat his brain.
All right,
and then see what happens.
Let's talk about this off air. Tyler, technology?
I think we just made a plan. Yes. What about technology?
Well, let me ask you this. What is it about when you're driving in a car, which has ostensibly, unless you're a creepy weirdo, windows everywhere where everybody can see you? What makes you forget that you can be seen in there? I'm talking specifically about the people who like to pick their nose.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you do it.
I do it. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm saying I do it too.
I do it. Yeah. It's just the four walls. It's just having you're enclosed.
Also, my nickname in high school. Sure.
I don't even know how to make that sexual. Four walls. That just sounds like you had very high barriers up.
That's
kind of true.
There you go. So there's something there, right? And that's a trope that's been around forever because it's real.
About being enclosed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I agree. The windows are there. People can see you, but you're in a box.
You're in your own little universe. There's nothing. You're not really. You could see people, but they're not really involved in what you're doing. And
that's exactly right.
I believe that technology has now updated that. Okay.
In terms of?
There is a new version of that, and it is the person in the stall watching their phone at full blast. That is now where you're in your own little universe. You forget that there's anybody else, and whatever is coming out of that stall is now being partaken by everybody there. I heard somebody talking to their phone. I heard somebody talking to the news.
Yeah.
And it was not pleasant.
You mean like while they're in the bathroom? They're doing their business?
I assumed there was business being done. He was wearing business socks.
Yeah. As I looked at him to the stall at him. I would love to get into why our stalls are only half finished, why there's so much space underneath and above to look at people.
You need to be able to see their shoes so that later on you can identify the smell to the person. It's like Vag Match. You have to be able to connect the two.
All right, we can talk about that later. Yeah, I'm not sure, but first of all, Who's talking on the phone while they're
like
in the
talking.
bathroom?
This person was talking to their phone. Maybe they were doing some sort of like one man show. I don't know, but it was like.
But like
maybe,
talking to like a video the way that I talk to video games, or having a
yes.
conversation.
No, like just giving their own comments to it.
All
It
right,
was,
that's fucking weird.
It was fucking weird.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like. We can all hear you. We're all out here. We're out here. We're scared.
I get really insecure talking to, like, I want to make comments at the video games that I play because I'm getting frustrated. I get insecure when you're in the house.
Please do.
When you're in the house.
Yeah. What do you want to say to the video game?
Well, I want to scream and I want to yell and I want to curse.
Don't do that.
And you're downstairs and I'm like, you son of.
I will say this.
and I squeeze my controller as hard as I can.
I did lose in God of War at some point recently that ended with me rolling on the floor. I was so close to beating this part that I've been stuck on, and I was one hit away, and the guy got me because he's a little fucking cheater.
Yep.
And I just fell out of my chair like Jackie Chan's stunt double, who is, in fact, Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I laugh so hard because I know exactly what you're talking about.
You fucker!
I have, not recently, but I have in the past, wound up on my hands and knees just beating the floor. Like I just learned that I lost everything in my life.
Oh my goodness. You sold Boardwalk? Yeah, it is. That's the thing with video games. They're too fucking good, man.
Yeah.
They're too good,
Yeah.
and you're just so involved with it. Even your favorite TV show, it doesn't affect you that way because it's not based on your own ability.
Exactly.
And you're like, Dad was always right. I'm a fucking idiot. I can't beat this troll. I mean, it literally made me turn down the intensity of the video game I have since beating. Turned it back up.
There you go.
You'll be proud of me.
Good for
Dude,
you, bud.
I played that shit for like 3 days.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
That's not why I play video games.
Do
I don't want
not-
to be stuck here forever.
PSA for your ASS to everybody out there. Do not feel ashamed for turning down the difficulty on your video game. Video games are meant to be... Thank you. Video games are meant to be enjoyed, so don't feel shame about turning down that difficulty.
Tyler, I am glad you said that, and I will tell you, I do. I do feel some shame about it. I want to be dexterous enough and good enough to have kicked. I mean, it was 2 of these giant ogre trolls,
Sure.
and they're just coming from everywhere, man. Like, chill.
God of War, you're my douche of the week.
My son is right here. He's a little boy.
Trolls, you're making me look bad.
All right, let's do it. A lot of yelling there. That really did piss me off, though, man.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir.
Fucking chill.
I'm fully aware.